Page 12, Foggy Dew. The top of the page to talk about the key signature of A major. A major has three sharps, an F sharp, a C sharp, and a G sharp. If you don't know the A major scale, please go to my scale video on A major and learn it one octave up and down. And while you're there, go ahead and do the minor scale with the three sharps, and that would be F sharp minor. That sounds terrible. F sharp minor, oh no. It's three sharps. Just the scale video, I explained it, and I learned it one octave up and down. If you already know those scales, then go ahead and go 2 octaves. But if you don't know them, don't go 2 octaves. 1 octave up and down to learn it first. You need to get comfortable with playing the notes in that key signature, because once you know the notes in the key signature and you know these sharps that are involved in all this, when you see it in music, you just play it. You just know when you come across a G, it's a G sharp because you're in the key of A major, and that's what it is. It works so well. It really does, but it takes time to learn that. So be patient and keep at it. Learn the scale. It will help you when you play in these key signatures. Common time, we have a pickup beat. We're coming in on beat 4 because common time is the same as 4/4. Right hand first. Let's get the notes and the fingering and all that. So we're here. If you look at the first set of notes on that, that's sort of where we are. So it's 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you got to remember these sharps in the key signature because we're using F sharp and C sharp and G sharp, and we got them all in here, so watch out. So when you put your fingers on the key, whatever it is, really it's kind of here or it's here. You have to remember these sharps. So again, at the beginning, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Second finger. You can use fifth finger there if you want. So it's the second full measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Remember the G sharp. You can use fourth finger on the B if you want. Just keep in mind you need fourth finger for the C sharp. Go on. Second line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Third line, look out. Here's 1 and 2. So I use fourth finger on the B because that thing is really a chord, and that's the fingering. If you look at the third measure over on the third line, that's a broken chord. And that's the fingering I use, so I use fourth finger. Use third if you want, I suppose, because you need fourth for the C sharp. And for the most part, that's the left hand. I mean, you got a lot of eighth notes in the last line. Hopefully you can count eighth notes okay. Left hand is broken chords. You're here. These, it is an A chord, but it's second version. See, the A chord is here. And if I turn it over 1, I put C sharp on the bottom, I'm here. If I turn it over again, an E. And that's really what this is. It's an E. It's a broken A chord. Now you can do here, if you got big hands, that's easier to do than this. Otherwise, do this. And then reach down. So they're telling you the names of the chords. Okay, if you're into, you want to figure out the names of the chords, that's what they are, okay. And for the most part, that's the left hand. Put them together. 1 and 2. Make sure you hold the half notes down. So forth. Work it out, both hands together. You hesitate all you need to at first just to get the hands to work together, but then go over it some more and get rid of the hesitations. You can go slow, but the beat needs to be a steady beat. Whatever. You can speed it up later. Once you have a handle on that, let's put in the slurs. The left hand has really nothing, so just connect the left hand all the way through. Just, if you can. Some of these it's hard to connect, but do the best you can. In the right hand, we got phrases. Lift up. Lift up. It's like taking a breath. It's like putting in an eighth rest in there. You're just cutting the last note of the phrase a little bit short, so you can do that. But the left hand, you stay down. Lift up. Lift up. Something like that. Didn't mean to play it all, but I did. I kind of like this piece. Then you can think about dynamics. Well, they're just suggestions. Get to know the piece. What do you feel the dynamics are? It's for the melody, and that's the right hand. They sing moderately loud, and at the end of the second line, then once you go back up to loud, or go to loud. At the end of the third line, come back down to where you were, moderately loud. So forth. Get to know it, because you're not going to stay at exactly that level. You can get a little louder and softer as you feel it. I mean, you can back off at the end of a phrase just a little bit. Come on. The bottom. Ba-da-dum. And then the so you get a little louder and softer, but you're going to stay in that general area of where your dynamic is. Now, allegretto, well, they give you an idea. Allegretto, it's between moderato and allegro. It's somewhere in there. And it's the feel of the piece. I mean, there's words to this piece. They're at the bottom of the page, in case you're wondering. You just have to figure out how the words match up with the notes. Generally, it's a word or a syllable in a word matches up with a note. And generally, the phrases, they'll go along with the phrases in the music, hopefully. So you can, if you want to sing it, the words are at the bottom. Good luck trying to read the music and the words at the bottom at the same time. That's always fun. So I think about where I've been playing is allegretto. So forth, that's fine. It has to be accurate, so don't go faster than what you can accurately play. If you're hesitating someplace, go back over those spots and work out the hesitations. Then on top of that, they've added pedal, and I would prefer this piece without pedal. I like it kind of bouncing along, except you're connecting the left hand. The pedal just smears it all up. If I pedal it the way they're showing, this is what it sounds like. It's overlapping pedal. To me, that's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I would leave pedal out. I recommend just don't use pedal at all. I don't really have any suggestions on pedal. If you want to use it, you'd have to experiment with the sound. Ultimately, it's you and your ears and what you like to hear is the ultimate judge on using the pedal. I would not recommend pedaling it like they're showing in the book, the whole thing like this, though. I'd like to do a play with me on this very slowly to check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics. There aren't any dynamics to speak of. I'll give us 3 counts because we come in on beat 4. I'm not going to do any pedaling on this, and I would recommend you just leave the pedal out. So here we go very slowly at the beginning. 1, ready, and go, and 1, and